What if I told you that a dirty, scratched, bad condition Jefferson nickel in your pocket could be worth thousands, even millions of dollars? Astonished face. In today's video, we're revealing the top 5 most valuable state Monticello Jefferson nickels that look ordinary but are actually extremely rare, mistake coins, and hidden treasures collectors are desperately searching for right now. Don't skip, because one of these nickels could change your life forever. First up, the 1946 Jefferson Monticello nickel with no mint mark in bad or heavily worn condition is a historically meaningful but very common coin in United States numismatic history, representing an important transitional moment when American coinage returned to normal after the end of World War II, because from 1942 through 1945 the U.S. Mint produced special wartime nickels containing silver to conserve nickel for military use, and in 1946 the Mint officially resumed striking Jefferson nickels in their original metal composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, making the 1946 issue the first regular non-silver Jefferson nickel of the post-war era, and the example with no mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not place mint marks on coins during that period, so the absence of a mint mark is normal and not an error. This coin was designed by Felix Schlag and features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and principal author of the Declaration of Independence, on the obverse, with the inscription, "In God We Trust," placed to the left of Jefferson's portrait, and the word, "Liberty," written in a flowing script to the right, followed by a small star and the date, 1946, while the reverse depicts Monticello, Jefferson's historic home located in Virginia, symbolizing his architectural interests and intellectual legacy, with the inscriptions, E Pluribus Unum, above Monticello, Monticello, just below the building, and 5 cents, and United States of America, at the bottom, and the coin has a plain smooth edge, a diameter of 21.21 millimeters, and a standard weight of 5 grams, in bad condition, which usually corresponds to grading levels such as poor, fair, about good, or low good. The coin shows very heavy wear from long-term circulation, meaning that Jefferson's hair details are mostly worn smooth, his facial features appear flat with little depth, the cheek and jawline blend into the field, the inscription Liberty may be weak or partially faded, though the date is generally still readable, while on the reverse the steps of Monticello are completely worn flat with no separation visible, the columns and roof details are faint or missing, and the lettering may be thin or uneven, and such extensive wear indicates that the coin circulated for many decades in everyday commerce, likely passing through thousands of hands in grocery stores, gas stations, vending machines, and banks during the late 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, and beyond, reflecting the economic growth and daily life of post-war America. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 161 million Jefferson nickels in 1946, which explains why the no mint mark version is extremely common today, especially in worn condition, and because of this high mintage and the fact that many examples survived circulation, a 1946 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark in bad condition generally has very little monetary value, often worth only its face value of 5 cents or slightly more, usually ranging from about 5 to 15 cents depending on demand, and it is not considered rare or scarce unless it displays an unusual mint error such as an off-center strike, significant die crack, lamination defect, or wrong planchet error, all of which are rare and require professional authentication to be considered valuable. Collectors typically view heavily worn examples as filler coins for albums, beginner collections, or educational tools used to learn grading and coin history rather than as investment pieces, since only high-grade uncirculated specimens with strong details, sharp Monticello steps, and original mint luster command higher premiums. Yet despite its low market value, The 1946 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel in bad condition still holds historical and sentimental significance because it represents a return to peacetime production, a symbol of America's resilience after war, and a tangible artifact of everyday life in mid-20th century society, with its scratches, smooth surfaces, rim wear, and dark toning telling a story of real use and long circulation rather than storage in collections, making it a humble but meaningful coin that is appreciated more for its historical context and connection to the past than for rarity or high financial worth. Next up, the 1974 Jefferson Monticello nickel with no mint mark in bad or heavily worn condition is a common yet historically interesting coin from the modern era of United States coinage, reflecting everyday American life during the mid-1970s, a time marked by inflation, economic change, and heavy coin circulation, and this particular coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which during 1974 still commonly produced nickels without a mint mark, making the absence of a mint mark normal and not a mistake, and the coin continues the long-running Jefferson nickel design first introduced in 1938 and created by sculptor Felix Schlag, featuring a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and a key figure in American history, on the obverse with the inscription, "In God We Trust," positioned to the left of Jefferson's profile and the word, "Liberty," written in script to the right followed by a star and the date, 1974, while the reverse depicts Monticello, Jefferson's famous home in Virginia, symbolizing his legacy as a statesman, thinker, and architect, along with the inscriptions, E Pluribus Unum, above the building and Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America, below. The 1974 Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighs 5 grams, measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter, and has a smooth plain edge, and in bad condition, typically graded as poor, fair, about good, or low good. The coin shows extensive wear caused by decades of circulation, meaning Jefferson's hair details are mostly worn smooth, his facial features appear flat with little depth, the cheek and jawline blend into the field, the inscription Liberty may be weak or partially faded, though the date is usually still readable, and on the reverse the steps of Monticello are completely worn flat with no visible separation, the columns and architectural details are faint or missing, and the lettering may appear thin, uneven, or weak, all of which indicate that the coin spent many years being used in daily transactions such as grocery purchases, vending machines, public transport, and small retail exchanges during the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s. The Philadelphia Mint produced a very large number of Jefferson nickels in 1974, well over 600 million coins, which explains why the no-mint mark version is extremely common today, especially in worn condition, and because of this massive mintage and long circulation life, a 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark in bad condition typically has very little monetary value, often worth only its face value of 5 cents or slightly more, usually around 5 to 10 cents, and it is not considered rare or valuable unless it exhibits a significant mint error such as a strong off-center strike, double die variety, major die crack, clipped planchet, or wrong planchet error, all of which are uncommon and must be verified by professional grading services to carry premium value. Collectors generally regard heavily worn 1974 nickels as filler coins used to complete date runs in albums, educational examples for learning coin grading, or historical pieces that show real circulation rather than storage, since only uncirculated or high-grade examples with sharp details and, in some cases, well-defined Monticello steps are desirable for advanced collectors. Yet despite its low market value, the 1974 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel in bad condition still holds meaning as a physical reminder of everyday American commerce during a challenging economic period, with its scratches, smooth surfaces, rim wear, dark toning, and overall flat appearance, telling a story of long use and durability, making it a humble but authentic artifact that represents the practical role of coins in daily life. Rather than rarity, luxury, or high financial worth. Next up, the 1954 Jefferson Monticello nickel with no mint mark in bad or heavily worn condition is a common yet historically meaningful United States coin that represents everyday American life during the early post-war period of the 1950s, a time when the country was experiencing economic growth, population expansion, and heavy use of coinage in daily transactions, and this particular coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not place a mint mark on most circulating coins during that era, meaning the absence of a mint mark on a 1954 Jefferson nickel is completely normal and not an error, and the coin belongs to the long-running Jefferson nickel series first introduced in 1938, designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, featuring a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and a major figure in American history, on the obverse, with the inscription, "In God We Trust," placed to the left of Jefferson's portrait, and the word, "Liberty," written in a flowing script to the right, followed by a small star and the date, 1954, while the reverse displays Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia, symbolizing his legacy as a statesman, philosopher, and architect, along with the inscriptions, E Pluribus Unum, above the building, and Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America, below. The 1954 Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighs 5 grams, measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter, and has a smooth plain edge, and when found in bad condition, typically graded as poor, fair, about good, or low good, the coin shows extensive wear caused by many years or even decades of circulation, meaning Jefferson's hair details are almost completely worn smooth, his facial features appear flat with very little depth, the cheek, jawline, and eye areas blend into the fields, the inscription Liberty may be weak, thin, or partially missing, though the date, 1954, is usually still readable, while on the reverse the steps of Monticello are entirely worn flat with no separation visible, the columns, windows, and roof details are faint or gone, and the lettering may be weak but identifiable, clearly showing that the coin was used heavily in everyday commerce such as grocery shopping, public transportation, vending machines, movie theaters, and small retail purchases throughout the 1950s, 1960s, and later decades. The Philadelphia Mint produced a very large number of Jefferson nickels in 1954, totaling well over 47 million coins, which explains why the no mint mark version is common today, especially in circulated and worn condition, and because of this relatively high mintage and long circulation life, a 1954 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark in bad condition generally holds very little monetary value, often worth only its face value of 5 cents or slightly more, typically ranging from 5 to 15 cents depending on demand and eye appeal, and it is not considered rare or valuable unless it features a significant mint error such as an off-center strike, major die crack, lamination error, clipped planchet, or a rare double die variety, all of which are uncommon and require professional authentication to be valuable. Collectors usually treat heavily worn examples as filler coins used to complete date and mint mark sets, educational pieces for learning coin grading and history, or examples that demonstrate real circulation rather than preservation, since only uncirculated or high-grade specimens with sharp details, strong strikes, and in some cases well-defined Monticello steps command higher premiums and attract advanced collectors. Yet despite its low financial worth, the 1954 no mint mark Jefferson nickel in bad condition still carries historical and sentimental significance as a physical reminder of mid-20th century American life, with its scratches, rim wear, smooth surfaces, dark toning, and overall flat appearance telling the story of decades of use and durability, making it a humble but authentic artifact that reflects the practical role of coins in everyday transactions rather than rarity, luxury, or high investment value. Next up, the 2000 D. Jefferson Monticello nickel in bad or heavily worn condition is a modern but widely circulated United States coin that reflects everyday American commerce at the turn of the 21st century, and this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small d mint mark located to the right of Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse, and unlike older Philadelphia issues, the presence of the D mint mark is normal and indicates Denver production rather than rarity, and the coin belongs to the long-running Jefferson nickel series first introduced in 1938 and designed by Felix Schlag, a design that remained largely unchanged for decades and became one of the most familiar coin designs in American history, featuring a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and a central figure in American independence and early government, on the obverse with the inscription, "In God We Trust," positioned to the left of Jefferson's profile, and the word, "Liberty," written in a script style to the right followed by a star and the date, 2000, while the reverse displays Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia home, symbolizing his legacy as a thinker, statesman, and architect, along with the inscriptions, E Pluribus Unum, above the building and Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America, below. The 2000 D. Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighs 5 grams, measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter, and has a smooth plain edge, and when found in bad condition, typically graded as poor, fair, about good, or low good, the coin shows noticeable wear despite its relatively young age compared to earlier nickels, meaning Jefferson's hair details may be partially flattened, facial features may appear dull or smooth, the cheek and jawline blend into the fields, the inscription Liberty may be weak or scratched, though the date, 2000, and the D mint mark are usually still readable, and on the reverse the steps of Monticello are often completely worn flat with no visible separation, the columns and fine architectural details are faded or missing, and the lettering may show weakness, scratches, or dullness, indicating that the coin circulated heavily through vending machines, parking meters, public transport systems, convenience stores, and everyday retail transactions during the early 2000s. A period when coins were still widely used before digital payments became dominant. The Denver Mint produced a very large number of Jefferson nickels in 2000, well over 1 billion combined between all mints, with hundreds of millions struck at Denver alone, which explains why the 2000 D. Jefferson nickel is extremely common today in circulated condition, and because of this massive mintage and modern production, a 2000 D. Jefferson nickel in bad condition generally has no premium value and is typically worth only its face value of 5 cents, and it is not considered rare or collectible unless it displays a significant and unusual mint error such as a strong off-center strike, dramatic die crack, rotated die, missing clad layer, wrong planchette strike, or a rare double die variety, all of which are uncommon and must be authenticated by professional grading services to carry any meaningful value. Collectors usually view badly worn 2000 D nickels as circulation finds or educational examples used to demonstrate wear patterns and grading differences rather than as investment pieces, since only high-grade uncirculated examples with strong strikes, full Monticello details, and original mint luster, or rare error coins, are sought after by advanced collectors. Yet despite its low financial worth, the 2000 D. Jefferson nickel in bad condition still holds significance as a physical reminder of everyday life at the start of the modern millennium, with its scratches, rim wear, dull surfaces, and flattened details telling a story of real-world use in a rapidly changing economy. making it a humble but authentic artifact that represents practical circulation, durability, and modern American history rather than rarity, age, or high monetary value. Next up, the 1985 P. Jefferson Monticello nickel in bad or heavily worn condition is a United States 5-cent coin that, while common in modern circulation, represents an important part of American numismatic history and everyday economic life in the mid-1980s, reflecting the widespread use of coinage before the rise of digital payment systems in a period of moderate economic growth, inflation management, and heavy consumer spending. And this particular coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the small P mint mark located on the obverse to the right of Thomas Jefferson's portrait, which distinguishes it from Denver D or San Francisco S issues, and the P mint mark is standard for Philadelphia coins of this period, making it a regular circulating issue rather than a rare variety. And this coin belongs to the long-running Jefferson nickel series first introduced in 1938, designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, which has remained one of the most iconic and enduring designs in United States coinage, featuring a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, author of the Declaration of Independence, and an influential statesman, on the obverse, with the inscription, "In God We Trust," positioned to the left of Jefferson's profile, and the word liberty in flowing script to the right, followed by a small star and the date 1985, while the reverse depicts Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia home, representing his architectural skill, intellectual legacy, and vision for democracy, accompanied by the inscriptions E pluribus unum above the building, and Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America below, and the coin has a smooth, plain edge, measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter, and weighs 5 grams, being composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, and in bad condition, often graded poor, fair, about good, or low good. The coin shows extensive wear from decades of circulation, meaning Jefferson's hair is flattened and the intricate detail of his facial features, cheekbone, jawline, and eye areas are worn smooth. The word liberty may be thin, partially missing, or weak, and although the date, 1985, and the P mint mark are typically still readable, scratches, dents, dark toning, and surface wear are evident from extensive handling, while on the reverse, the steps of Monticello are flattened, the columns and roof details are faint or nearly invisible, and lettering may be thin, weak, or partially worn away, indicating that the coin passed through countless hands over decades, circulating in vending machines, public transit, retail stores, banks, and other everyday transactions during the 1980s, 1990s, and beyond, reflecting its role as a practical tool for commerce rather than a collectible. And the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels in 1985, making this 1985 P extremely common in circulated condition. So in bad condition, the coin generally holds only face value, around 5 cents, and is not considered rare, collectible, or valuable unless it displays a significant mint error such as an off-center strike, double die crack, clipped planchet, missing clad layer, or wrong planchet, which are extremely rare and require authentication and grading from professional numismatic services to be monetarily significant, and collectors usually regard badly worn examples as filler coins for album completion, educational pieces for teaching grading, or physical examples of mid-1980s circulation rather than as high-value investments, since only uncirculated or high-grade coins with strong strikes, sharp Monticello detail, original mint luster, or rare errors are sought by advanced collectors. Yet despite its lack of financial value, the 1985 P. Jefferson nickel in bad condition retains historical and educational significance as a tangible artifact of everyday life, demonstrating the durability of modern coinage. the patterns of long-term circulation, and the practical use of money in the United States, with its scratches, flattened surfaces, rim wear, dark toning, and faded details serving as visual evidence of real-world use, making it a humble yet authentic piece that reflects not only the continuing legacy of Thomas Jefferson and his iconic Monticello home on American coinage but also the social, economic, and transactional history of ordinary Americans in the 1980s, preserving the story of ordinary commerce and illustrating how coins function as both tools of daily life and carriers of national heritage, providing a window into the past for collectors, students, and historians, while also showing that even common coins, when viewed carefully, tell an enduring story of human interaction, cultural continuity, and the simple but meaningful role of money in society, where wear, toning, scratches, and flattened detail do not diminish the coin's historical context but instead highlight its journey through countless hands, machines, and transactions, making the 1985 P. Jefferson nickel in bad condition a valuable artifact for understanding modern coin circulation, the design continuity of the Jefferson nickel series, and the enduring presence of historical figures like Thomas Jefferson on everyday money. And even though it may not hold significant monetary value, it remains a fascinating and instructive piece for anyone interested in numismatics, history, or the material culture of 20th century America, exemplifying how coins serve as both functional currency and cultural symbols over time, reflecting both human usage and artistic design, and continuing to connect collectors and historians with the practical and historical realities of the era in which they circulated. Please like and subscribe to my channel.